by understanding this story of truth, you should be able to know all of the answers to all of the questions that people have been pondering about since the beginning of time. Of course, I'm not answering every single one of them, but the answers are within the story itself. Before I get too excited, I was saying that we're not using some kind of strange method of communicating with the other side. And by now you should know that there are many people of different various types who have different abilities from the sons of Adam to understand different things. And of the stories and tales of mankind, there are many about that, but all of them should be understood within the story that I'm telling you, because I'm not just giving you one little piece of a tale. I'm trying to get you to understand the whole story of truth, and in this is a sign for those who are paying attention. But we said because the story that I'm telling you is the story of truth, then those who are listening to my tale, you know, when you see false prophets and people make predictions, I have to disclose, I am not a prophet. If you've understood the fundamentals, then you must know that the story we have always told has certain fundamentals. La ilaha illallah, there is only one God. And from this moment on, Muhammadur Rasulullah, Muhammad is the final messenger. And we went through the tale, if you don't understand the prophets in succession and how we are at this point in the story of all of the sons of Adam, in the story of this planet. Like I said, we want to stay away from the labels and the groups and the politics, and we're talking about a tale of epic proportions, grander than anything you have ever heard before in this English language, that we are saying to remember that this whole story is about how to benefit our whole human race, because it has been a galactic struggle from the beginning of time, although many of us have been deceived from the story of the truth, that because I'm not just a soothsayer or a predictor, that what I am giving you is not from myself, is from the open knowledge that anyone can find and seek. That because I am not a soothsayer or a fortune teller, I am not going to make a prediction about the lottery numbers for next week or tell you that I have secret knowledge. I am going to tell you the information in open and show it to you in a way that should be made obvious to you, as the truth is the light and no one can ever be deceived by darkness if the light is told to them. Now, we said if we go back and understand the fundamentals, and we went through them quickly, that there is only one God. He created the angels and the jinns and mankind, and we are the superior race. And all the prophets in the books will come with the final prophet and the knowledge each prophet had of in knowing the next prophet and what are the signs. And the signs and this story of truth that I'm telling you, you should begin to understand the signs because you are hearing something incredible for the first time. If you are listening, you will know the light and the reason why. But we said a person who tells the story of truth must understand and prove a strange fundamental. We're saying that of the final fundamentals is that we are of the soul. And that after we die, the Lord Most High can raise us, of course, as the Lord Most High can give life and take life. And that fundamental challenge has always been there based on the story that we always go back to Abraham, who said, "My Lord is the one who gives life and takes life." And so every part of the story must fit, as I always told you. So whenever we make a reference to any new part, we must be able to reference an old part and see that this is always correct, that the balance is always there. This is a battle of light versus dark. And so Abraham made this challenge on the earth and built the holy house in Mecca and said, from this moment on, the Lord Most High must be worshipped. And as a challenge, that house has stood the test of time, and in that there is a sign. Abraham made a second challenge. If you're listening to the story and you've been paying attention, you know what that second challenge is. If you don't know it right now, go back and listen again, because you have missed something that I said. And every word that I'm saying is by the will of Allah, the Lord Most High. But you must wait to hear what happens next. So let's go straight and jump right back into the tale. I said, my name is Salim Siddiqui. I'm the son of Shamshad, a humble man who was a bearer of the light from India, who left his country and came and married my mother, a Christian woman, white-skinned, in England, who accepted the light as soon as she heard it. And from that moment on, she has been known as a Siddiqa, the bearer of the truth. A bearer of the truth. And so my parents wished to have a son, and my father always used to ask a strange prayer, oh God, let me have a son who looks white like these people and can tell them a story or talk to them about the truth. But I don't think he understood what it meant, and I know I never did. And so they had a baby, and the beautiful child was born, and it wasn't me. I told you, every teller of the story of truth must always make sure that they tell you that the story is not about them. The person was born was not even a son, it was a daughter, my noble sister, peace and blessings be upon her. And we got to the story where we said, and we were here now in America, a country where the founding fathers had searched for the light, yet a country that had gotten into turmoil. And we talked about slavery, and the idea of enslaving any of the sons of Adam is against the story that we're telling, and that this isn't about a political war of one race or another. And we talked about the reality of the truth of the blackest of the skins and the nobleness of their character. And we said that every part of the story that we tell you must be obvious and already known to you, yet clearer now, because we said brothers got soul and sisters got soul. They're soul sisters, and we use these terms and know them in our language. And as I said, I'm going to tell you a tale that when you understand even your own words, they make sense more than they ever did in your own language now, because you have heard the story of the truth, that all of the disagreements of racism that this country has faced, yet in one simple moment I can tell you the reality of the truth of the nature of the black-skinned people, and it confirms that they have been given the gift of the word by the Lord Most High. And in that magical gift, and in the strange story I've told about music and communication with the other side, and what the scientists and people of alien technology know in how they communicate with the other side, that even there, that music is a gift from the Lord Most High and part of the creation. And I've answered the timeless question of the Muslims that they have been debating about the validity or haramness or halalness of music. And I've said that music is of the light and of the dark, and that is why the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, had sometimes said, here is something that speaks good, and here is something that speaks darkness. But let's not get lost in the music. We said that after the African American people, we find ourselves in a country that is so desolate and dark, that a man comes named Barack Hussein Obama, speaking of change, that all of us should seek something better, and all of the people accept him. That in the most noble of countries and the most powerful on this planet, a time has come where a dark-skinned man is made as their leader, and in that there is a sign. And I've even claimed something bolder, that the advent to the world, that all of the signs from the Prophet Muhammad, all of the signs from the Prophet Muhammad showed major changes. That he was the final prophet to all of the world, and that is why the whole world has been made pure. And that his sign of the splitting of the moon was there to make clear to the whole of the world, and even the other races. And so that the sign has come to this earth that someone who speaks the truth should be listened to. And that the advent of Barack Hussein Obama is a sign that the story of truth is coming to a land for the first time they have ever heard it. Because the story of truth is only revealed when the Lord Most High says it to be so and plants the seed. And so I'm making a bold claim, Salim Siddiqui, son of Shamshad, that Barack Hussein Obama, Barack, the good sign, Hussein of the great news, of the goodness to come, is a sign that your son is speaking the story. But I said I didn't know any of this. I didn't know any of this. That I'm sitting here confused in this amazing world where something so strange is happening. The world is full of darkness and there is war all over the place, and Islam is being accused of the greatest of atrocities, and that Muslims are not doing much to help. that I sat in my own house confused about how to say or communicate what were the words that my sister, peace and blessings be upon her, called. And she reminded me, tomorrow is the great Eid, the great celebration of the Muslims.